34 lakhs average package from ISB. But before you start planning your luxury lifestyle, let me tell you some uncomfortable truths. I have analyzed every placement report. I have spoken to some of the graduates from ISB from various years. I've been working with students preparing their applications for ISB for a long time now, so have a lot of my students who passed out from ISB. I'm gonna give you a complete picture. No gimmicks, no marketing, just bare truth. ISB's latest placement report shows 34.21 lakhs as the average package. It says 93% of the students are placed and 1208 offers. Great, right? Let's dig deeper. When we say 34 lakhs average package, if we dig deeper, we find out that 31 lakhs was a median package. Now, what does that say? That say maybe most of the students or nearly half of the students got less than 34 lakhs. And the average has gone up because of the fact that you've got high-paying consulting and investment banking roles. Let's talk about where these offers come from. So the majority of the offers come from McKinsey, Deloitte, Bain, which are all consulting firms, and some of them are really high-paying jobs. But here's the thing, which they don't mention in the brochures, that only 20-25% of a batch ends up with consulting offers. There is a huge fierce competition at the campus where there are people who don't make it to consulting and end up with other jobs. Technology sector is also one of the most important sector when it comes to the placements in ISB. Now, but the problem with the technology sector or let's say startups is that they give you stock options, which gets vested over the 4 to 5 years time, which basically says that your actual package might be much lesser than what you see on the paper. And that 34 lakhs is just cost to company, which includes your RSUs, your stock options. So the actual money which you make is somewhere around 60 to 70% of that 34 lakhs. Now, I'm not saying this is less, but I'm just helping you in understanding how these CTCs are created. It has PF component, it has gratuity component, all that included in your cost to company. Now let's address the elephant in the room. The cost of doing an MBA from ISB is 50 lakhs. That says after spending 50 lakhs, you end up with 34 lakh salary, and there is also a variable component in that CTC that makes it 60-70% of that 34 lakhs. So what happens to my ROI? There is a huge discussion about, the B schools charging 50 lakhs, ending up giving you offers around 34-35 lakhs. Now what I'm telling you is you should understand what this package is made up of, but at the same time, if you look at 3 to 5 years time frame, it's still a very good deal. How? Let's talk about it. So a lot of people think that if you're making 34 lakhs, after spending 50 lakhs in an MBA, it is worth. Because what happens is, a lot of people believe that I'm gonna get 34 lakhs year on year after doing an MBA. That's not the truth. What happens is, every year you get an increment. So if you change jobs after 3-4 years, you suddenly get a huge increment on your previous package. That says that even the time frame which we have taken according to 34 lakhs as 3-4 years in which you will return the loans or wherever you're taking the money from is not something which you have to think about. Because at the end of the day, what will happen is you will be getting an increment over your salaries, and that would help you in increasing your package suddenly to a number which is 50, 70, 1 CR and above it at times. That's why it matters that you understand the maths of this package, and you also understand that you are not investing on that 1 year just after an MBA. You are investing for a lifetime. You get a brand like ISB, and at the same time, you also get the CTC, which is going up over the period of time. Hardly 2 to 3 year, 4 year time, you would be able to come out of those EMIs, and after that, it's only the increment which will keep on happening on your CTC. So ISB is not just about the immediate salary, it's about the career which you are making over the years. The real value shows up in 3 to 5 years time, and that brand ISB stays with you throughout your lifetime. Let's address the current market scenario. Now, although the average package is increasing every year, but the number of companies or number of offers is declining. There is a huge sectoral shift happening in terms of placements. There are companies which are offering placements in the space of AI, generative AI, and so on. So the skill set which you had before doing an MBA might not be enough for the new roles. So you have to keep upgrading yourself, and ISB plays a huge role there. They teach you the most advanced subjects which help you in reaching there. This is where the strategic thinking comes into play. ISB is not about the career you get after your MBA. It is 5 to 10 years from the day when you do an MBA, you build your career over time. So it's not about the first placement which you get, but it's about the career which you make over your lifetime. So how do you maximize your chances? ISB admission doesn't only depend upon GMAT score, but it has a much to do with your work with the kind of experience you have. It also deals with the kind of social impact you are making, your currics, your extra currics, your academics, all of that as a bundle play a role. Every year, we work with hundreds of students who apply to ISB and help them with their application process. We run something called ISB Focus Batch, where we not only train students for GMAT, but also we help them during the admission consulting. Their SOPs, their essays, we also guide them through their mock interviews. So the end-to-end preparation is what we have been doing for years now. Over 1,000 plus students have ended up with their Dream B schools through Global Creed mentoring methodology. The secret is understanding that MBA success depends on your strategic planning and at the same time getting a guide or a mentor who can guide you at every phase and every stage. In ISB, we have 49% engineering graduates. We have 51% non-engineering students. So the people who believe that you have to be an engineer to make it to the best B school, that's a myth. The bottom line is ISB placements are great, impressive. You have 93% placements, but at the same time, to get the best of the jobs on the campus, your planning, your strategic execution starts much early, maybe even before the admission to ISB. So your GMAT score, your academics, your extra currics, your social impact, your work experience, everything plays a role, and how and what you do during your MBA also plays an important role. If you're serious about your journey, start your preparation now. The competition is immense, but you need a strategic planning for the same. So make sure that you start early and start writing your GMAT and preparing well for your ISB application. Think beyond just the numbers. Think about the career you want to build.